and welcome back. Olivia from Home, and in today's video I am so excited to share with you guys 10 DIY, Dollar Tree, and budget-friendly decor crafts. So this is another episode in my I Love Spring series. I'm also giving away a Cricut Joy for one of you all, as well as a $100 gift card to go shopping for some Cricut Joy supplies. I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget, as well as spoil you. I feel like we all need something to look forward to. So also I want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work crafting and decorating, and just looking forward to the future with so much joy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take a little bunny off of this super adorable Dollar Tree bunny banner. I'm going to remove the tail, and what I want to do is I want to make a cute little buffalo check plaid bunny. So I'm just going to lay this Dollar Tree baby blanket over the little bunny, and I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it to the bunny. Now this is a felt bunny, so it was really pretty easy to hot glue. And I do want to go ahead and make this kind of like a little shabby chic bunny. I've used a lot of buffalo check plaid in this gray color with the pillows in my living room, so I just thought this might be a cute little addition. And so I'm going to go ahead and trim out the bunny. This was fairly easy as well. Make sure that you have a nice sharp pair of scissors. Now that I've cut my little bunny out, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the tail back on. Then I'm going to take some lace from my lace scraps, and I'm going to go ahead and hot glue the lace in and around the little bunny creation that I made. This would also be super cute to do with just the pastel and not adding the extra fabric. But again, I do want to make this kind of a cute little addition to my living room decor. So I went ahead and went with a gray and white buffalo check plaid. And also, if you don't have the little bunny cut out on hand, you could always trace a bunny out or print one out. All you have to do is Google free bunny cutouts, and they have a lot of little different cutout ideas for you all. But just go ahead and begin to glue some lace onto your little bunny, and then once you have that all finished, you can go ahead and add some goodies to that. Now that I have my bunny all finished, I decided to go ahead and take some of this Dollar Tree silky ribbon and just tie a quick little shoelace bow. This is super easy. You just tie a bow like you would be tying your shoelace, and then you're going to go ahead and trim the bow off. And then once you have that done, you can just hot glue that to the neck of your little bunny. Now get creative and use whatever fabrics you have on hand. And I did also go ahead and add a little bit of razzle dazzle bling to the center of my bunny. These were just some little actual snowflake pieces I believe I found at the Dollar Tree over Christmas time. So now is the best time while we're staying at home to dig into your stash and use what you have. So here is my little bunny, all cute and adorable. I think she is so sweet and fabulous and very shabby chic, but with that extra kind of updated buffalo check plaid. And I just want to share with you a quick little Psalm 23:3. He restores my soul. And I have just been praying for all of you, and I'm so thankful that you're here and watching this video. And I just want you to be encouraged, and it really felt good for me to craft and do some of these fun things to share with you all. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm repurposing and reusing this Dollar Tree tray. I found this tray at Dollar Tree and I chalk painted it white a while back. And now I'm just going to repurpose and reuse some of this foam. And I'm going to make a cute little centerpiece. I found this lamb's ear at Walmart. It's $2 for a pack of 2. So it's basically like $1 each. And I'm going to add that to either side of my arrangement and then get creative again and reuse whatever flowers you have. I actually am pulling apart a lot of my floral arrangements, so I'll have new DIYs to share with you all. So I'm taking some of these pink tulips. I had used them to make a wreath with, but I wanted to reuse to share this with you guys. So I'm just adding the tulips in and around the base of my little platter here. And also these tulips did come from Michael's, but Dollar Tree does carry tulips closer to the summertime. But again, just reuse whatever flowers that you already have on hand is my suggestion for this DIY. But I'm using a lot of pretty pink tulips around the base. I thought that would make you all smile. This pretty pink color right now to me is just so soothing. And you guys know me, I love pastels and pink. And during Easter, I really feel like it's the most fun time to use all of those beautiful pastels. So I also decided to go ahead and add some hot pink roses, just a couple here at the top. I had these left over in my craft stash. I thought that would give a little bit of dimension to the pale pink tulips, and I really wanted it to feel like spring was springing in this beautiful centerpiece. And I also had to go ahead and add a little bit of moss in and around the spaces that seemed kind of bare in my arrangement. You could also add some greenery or whatnot. The other thing I want to go ahead and do is share with you all a prayer. And this is Matthew 6:34. And it says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." Father, sometimes I become exhausted, weary, and overwhelmed with worry, stress, and anxiety for the future. I pray Matthew 6:34 over my life and over my friends' lives who are listening right now. I do not want to worry or be anxious about tomorrow, but instead I want to place my trust in you entirely each and every day. Father, help me remember in times of need that you have always been faithful to provide in any and every situation or challenge. Help me remember that your plans are to prosper me and never to harm me. Father, teach me to meet each day's troubles as they come with grace, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I know your grace is sufficient. You will help me overcome whatever this life may bring my way. You are good to me, and I find peace and hope in knowing you will never abandon me. There is no need to worry about tomorrow. I know you will meet me there. In Jesus' name, amen. So for the next DIY, I want to share with you all how I'm going to repurpose and reuse this little salsa jar. I've been actually saving a lot of jars to share different crafts with you all. So I'm going to go ahead and take the lid off and paint the lid with some flat 2X Rust-Oleum spray paint. You could use pretty much any craft paint for this. This is just what I had on hand. Then once that has dried, I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue and some moss to the base of this. I found the moss at Dollar Tree, but you guys could use grass. You could use any little bits and bobs you might have around. I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree. It's a fake peep. It was on a stick, but it pulls off of the stick really easy. And then I'm going to add a big generous dollop of hot glue. And then I also had some of this little Dollar Tree vase filler. It's just little tiny kind of round looking eggs, but you guys could use little tiny flowers, or again, whatever you have in your craft stash. You could use some little beads or bobs or pearls. Again, just dig in and start using some of the things you guys have. If you're like me, you like to keep a lot of little things that you might think you're going to craft with. So here's my little bunny, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pop the jar on top of this. I also did add a bit of Mod Podge and a layer of glitter to the back of the jar where that sticker label was. You could also use Goo Gun to get your sticker label off. Now this is a Dollar Tree candlestick. I painted it white with that same spray paint, and then I'm just adding some hot glue. And then now I have this adorable little bunny decor piece that was so sweet and easy, and I just used everything that I already had on hand. And also this would be great if you're doing fairy gardens with some of your little ones right now. They could create this kind of little fairy garden, use some of the little fairy garden pieces. Really, any miniature that you have laying around, you can make this little craft with, and you don't have to glue it to a candlestick. I just kind of did that because I thought it would look neat for this DIY, but just save your jars. You could even make this craft with a bottle if you had a bottle on hand. So anyway, I just thought that would be a fun one, and this would be a great one to do for really any age and any skill level. Just always make sure you're supervising with the hot glue if you're doing this with little ones. So for the next DIY, I'm going to take this little Happy Easter bunny bag. It was 2 for $1 at Walmart for these cute little bunny bags. And then I'm going to take this leftover blueberry container, and I'm going to cut the top part out of the blueberry container. What I want to do is create a floral arrangement inside of this bag, but I wanted something to keep the bag expanded. That way I don't have to use floral foam, and the bag will kind of stay open. I hope that makes sense. So I just cut the top part out of the blueberry container. Really, you could use any plastic container, and then also a little box would work. So if you have an empty cereal box or oatmeal box, that would help keep a little bit of stability in your bag. So what I want to create is a floral arrangement in this bag. I'm popping these little tulips in, again reusing what I already had on hand. I had pulled apart a tulip wreath. You guys probably saw it, but I just want to have more DIYs to share with you all. So I'm taking again this ribbon and I'm tying a little shoelace bow. This is just kind of an extra step. You guys know I really love to go a little bit extra, and then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that to the front of this. I did trim it off enough to where you could still see the Happy Easter part, but you guys could get totally creative with this. You could even just use a gift bag that you already have on hand. Maybe you have a pretty gift bag from a gift that somebody gave you. You could just cover if it said birthday on it, and then make a beautiful floral arrangement. This could also go for a basket. You could even take an old purse that's a vintage purse and make a floral arrangement in that. I don't know, there's just so many fun ways you could do a spring Easter floral arrangement, but I had this bag on hand. So again, using what you have, just go ahead and add in some pretty flowers. I did take those purple ones out, and I just added green tulips, yellow tulips, and pink tulips. I did get the tulips at Michael's at the beginning of the season. Dollar Tree will carry tulips. I think some of them already have their tulips out from what I've seen online. And then here it is mixed in here with this beautiful, happy springtime arrangement. I just had to bring you all some color. These soft pastels do so much to just soothe my soul, and of course I do love the pastel aesthetic, but my hope is that this video will make your heart smile and help you move into decorating for spring and Easter. Again, looking forward to the future with so much hope and so much joy in our hearts. As we go through this, we stay at home together, we join together and pray for one another and love on one another and call and text each other, send each other messages, letters, doing whatever we can to just really encourage and support and uplift one another. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this cute little adorable Dollar Tree frame and this Dollar Tree egg. This Dollar Tree egg was from a sign that I had just pulled apart. You guys probably saw that in my mantle decor video. I'm using some double-sided sticky tape. I don't want to ruin the frame by hot gluing on it, so I'm just taping the little egg on. Now, I did have a bit of a craft fail and did end up having to use a little bit of hot glue on this, but I think it'll come off fine with a bit of sandpaper, and I'll probably reuse it and repurpose it anyway. But for those of you that just need an easy, quick craft to do, you could do this with your kiddos on any frame really that you have laying around. You could just add some quick little eggs and just make some fun Easter decor. I know sometimes I don't have the thought process to sit down and do really hard DIY, so I thought I'd bring you guys a super fun and easy one. For the next DIY, I'm going to take this globe that I found at the thrift store and this thrift store plate, and I'm going to take some of those Dollar Tree speckled eggs and then some of the Dollar Tree oversized eggs, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin to add them to this hurricane. So I added some of the speckled eggs first, and this is some of that Dollar Tree. It's vase filler is what they call it, and then I'm adding in this large jumbo oversized egg. I just want to add a bunch of eggs again and create a super easy, just little fun Easter decor piece. You guys can get creative and happy with this one. Use whatever eggs that you have on hand. And I did need a little bit more of the vase filler. It's floating around in the bottom of one of my craft bags, so it's going to take a while for me to collect all of it. I didn't bag it beforehand, but anyway, I'm just adding in all of these fun little eggs for a bright little happy shiny Easter decor. And again, this is a really easy one. You don't have to have a lot of supplies to do this. You could use any kind of glass vase, any kind of bits and bobs of eggs or pearls or whatnot. So for the next part of this DIY, I'm going to go ahead and make a really large Olivia bow, and I'm starting with a 14-inch piece. Now, this is a bow that I made previously, but I want to share it with you all. I'm going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. I'm going to do that about 4 to 6 times, depending upon the amount of ribbon that you have. For this one, I only used 4 loops, but if you're making a big wreath bow, you probably want to do 6 loops. And then I'm just going to go ahead and just add a tiny little notch, cut a tiny little bitty notch in the center of this, and then you can go ahead and use your pipe cleaner, and the notch will help your pipe cleaner hang on to that bow better and allow you to fluff it without the loops falling apart. So I'm adding it to the center part of this, and again, it was 14 inches for the first piece. And you also might want to measure your bow for the size of your project. So if it was a smaller project, you're going to need to do, smaller measurements. So now for the next ribbon loop, I'm going to do 12 inches long, and then I'm going to do 4 loops. This is going to be that Dollar Tree Happy Easter ribbon. In fact, all of this ribbon that I'm using for this bow is from the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm going to just take it and find my center and notch each side. This is what I call the Olivia bow, simply because it'll be a good reference point for you guys to come back to know which bow we're making. We make this bow over and over and over. So many of you will have tried it. I developed this bow because I can't make a bow, honestly, to save my life. So I figured out how to do this bow, and I just had to share it with you guys. And thank you for all of you that are sharing over on my Facebook group page and on Instagram. I love seeing your projects, and I'm so proud of everybody. Everybody's bows look amazing, and practice makes perfect. I know sometimes mine come out really great and sometimes not so great. So don't give up, just keep trying. So again, I made another little loopy bow here, and this one was 10 inches long. You just take it and go 4 inches, or you go 4 times over on itself, and I will leave a bow recipe down below. It gives you a really in-depth Olivia bow tutorial. It's from my Christmas bows, but it's still the same method. So just give your bow a nice and tidy fluffy now. Now this is the key to a fabulous, amazing bow, is you want to fluffy duffy it out really well. And then I'm just going to take and fold my little end over here and dovetail it by taking my scissors and just cutting in an upwards direction. Now be careful if you're cutting upwards, you're going to cut that little triangle. It's going to give you a nice little finished edge, but do be careful when you're cutting. My scissors aren't that sharp, and thankfully I've never cut myself, but just because you're using scissors, just always be careful. And so here it is, all fun and fabulous and ready to go on my little DIY hurricane vase. And again, I'm repurposing and reusing. The ways that I store my bows, if I take them off of a project, is I take a little push pin and I'll just push pin them to the wall inside of my craft closet. That way they stay nice and fluffy. So that's just a little side note for you all. And so here it is with the bow added. Now this is very over the top, definitely my style, but if you don't like over the top, leave the bow off or make a smaller bow. But I just thought it made like a fun little centerpiece without using the flowers. Just another idea for you guys to decorate, use what you have on hand, and have fun again crafting and creating. I always ask that you let me know which is your favorite project in this video and which one might you have some supplies on hand to recreate. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super adorable blooming spring Easter tree with, you guessed it, a Dollar Tree plunger. So grab your plunger and some greenery and some beautiful spring Easter florals, and let's get to crafting. Okay, so I'm starting out with this green floral bundle from Dollar Tree. I'm super surprised that they have these green floral bundles, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the top of my plunger. Okay, you're going to kind of hold on to it though as you hot glue. The next thing I wanted to add was this beautiful iris bundle, and then I decided to add in some lilacs. So really you guys can get creative with this and use the florals that you love that you're going to be decorating with for spring. Okay, so I'm adding in greenery and then the irises and then the lilacs. I thought I was going to do some of the glitter berries, but then I decided to add in some of these beautiful pink florals. Okay, so I'm just kind of layering them in, and I'm going kind of every other one, and I decided to go with a green and white, purple and pink palette. So that's what I was going for with this. And then I added this taller white flower. Again, you guys just have fun with it, get creative, and continue to glue your stem on as you go. So the secret to getting these stems on is you're going to add a generous layer of hot glue, lay it down on top of the hot glue, and then hold it with the other hand. And I'm just going to continue to do that. And of course, it's kind of sped up on the video, but it is going to take a bit of drying time. So I ended up adding 2 of these taller florals, as you guys can see here. And then eventually at the very end, I added one more once I was completely finished. I added another bundle of irises, and so for every floral I added, I believe, 2 bundles each, just to kind of give it a really nice full effect. And I believe total I added about 10 bundles of florals. So you're probably, when you go shopping, you're going to want to pick up 2 to 3 stems or bundles of florals for each color that you want to do. That way you have enough. It's always better to have a couple extra with this kind of project, because you might want to have a little bit extra to puff it out or make it a little bit more full. So anyway, get creative with it. Use what's in your budget though too. Or also dig into your craft stash. So those are just some tips and tricks that I have for you. Now the next thing I want to do is take a zip tie, and after I have everything hot glued, I like to secure it with a zip tie, just to be a little bit extra safe. I'm a safety girl. I don't want anything popping off. Now I'm going to add a generous layer of hot glue, and then I'm going to take this burlap, and really you guys could use any kind of ribbon, and I'm just going to twist that around my little bundle to give it like a more tree-like effect, or really just to cover up the plunger. We don't want anybody to know it's a plunger. So then I'm going to twist it on till I get to the base of it, cut that off, hot glue it to the base, and then we're going to flip that plunger rubber part up and then plunge it down into our ice bucket. And this ice bucket is from Dollar Tree. Everything in this entire project is from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to take some of those little Dollar Tree rocks or gems. I'm going to pop that down into the base. That way it has some weight. You guys could use any rocks, anything that has weight, because it's a little bit of a heavier project. And then you're going to pop in some styrofoam, because that's going to fill it out. You could also just use some Walmart bags or just anything to kind of secure it in there. Push that down in there, and then there you have it. Then you might want to add some little moss around the top of it, or some greenery, just to kind of cover that up. Now you can see I'm kind of twirling my little flowers out, or poofing them out, or just kind of making them look like they're blooming. And that's going to give them a little bit more of a springtime effect. Now I did want those white ones to kind of stay standing up. The two seemed a little bit sparse, so I do end up adding one more white one to the center. Now I did take one more bundle of that greenery, and with my wire cutters, I cut it apart and then pop that into the base. And ooh, I am so loving that. Yes, I am loving that. It just seems like it's more blooming and a little bit more high end. Because it is so full at the top, I really felt like I needed something at the bottom. You guys know me, I love to go super over the top. Okay, now grab some glitter berries and add those into around the bottom here. So you're going to pop that in with some hot glue. Now, of course, this is extra, but you guys know I love to go extra. So give it some jazz, razzle dazzle it up. You guys know I just love to add that extra sparkle and shine, and those glitter berries really is what this project needed, in my opinion.
Give me love, give me all your love, oh, 'cause I want you. No one else makes me feel this way, don't know what you
Now the next thing I decided to pop into my little spring Easter tree floral was some of those little Dollar Tree speckled eggs. So I'm taking and I'm hot gluing them into the top of this little glitterberry stem, and I just popped about 3 to 4 little speckled eggs into this. Now of course that's optional, but hey, I have them floating around in my craft stash, so I couldn't resist. Now grab a roll of Dollar Tree ribbon. I had this pretty plaid Dollar Tree ribbon, and I'm just going to whip out my easy bow maker. You guys could also make an Olivia bow, super easy, fabulous. And for this bow, I'm just going to go back and forth about make a 6-inch bow. With your Olivia bow, do the same, make about 4 little loops back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So super easy, make it fabulous. Lots and lots of ribbon here. I'm going to use the entire roll. You guys know me, I just love to have a fabulous bow. I want to make it really gorgeous. This is going to be like a centerpiece. I'm going to use it on my dining room table or next to my fireplace or mantle, anywhere that I just want that extra razzle dazzle, you guys. So then once I have it done, I'm going to pop it off my easy bow maker, tie it off in the center, and then there you have it. So the easy bow maker you guys can find on Amazon, you can find it at Michael's, use your coupon, and voila, I'm going to tie it on with a little pipe cleaner, and then there you have that. So, and if you are using your easy bow maker, again, I went 6 inches across on the measurement, and then I just got a little bit smaller as I went across. And the easy bow maker, I cheat all the time and use that because it's easy on my fingers. Now here guys, I'm going to leave a bow video in the description box of my YouTube video, okay? If you guys need help with your bows, I make an Olivia bow that's no tools required. It's so super easy. Sometimes though, I like the way that the easy bow maker makes my bows look. You know, it's just up to you or me. But here's how that looks. Ooh, I am loving this. So springtime fabulous, very voom. And I am just, oh my goodness, how adorable and pretty. These bursts of spring colors, you guys, is so what I need right now. We are getting ready to get over a foot of snow where I am at. And so I am so needing this burst of spring. It is giving me so much sparkle and shine and happiness in my heart and joy. And so if you guys need that little bit of sparkle and shine in your heart, whip out some spring colors, whip out your paintbrush and your bows and go for it.
Could you hold my hand, look me in the eyes? You and me, yeah, that's all I need, and I'll be be alright. I'll be.
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys a really cool kind of candle egg topiary topper. So we're going to take a used ribbon roll. Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to pop off either side of that used ribbon roll and just set the other part of the cardboard aside. And so you just want the little round cardboard part. The next thing I'm going to do is hot glue one of these foam eggs to the top. You could also just use like a little piece of styrofoam. Now, the next thing I want to do once I get that foam egg on top of here, or styrofoam, or anything that you can kind of poke down into, you just want something in the center of your flat cardboard piece that you can poke things into. And then the next thing we're going to use is this little bit of greenery. Okay, so what we're trying to make is like a little egg topiary to top on top of like a candlestick, or you guys could put this on top of a cake plate, or just, you know, any kind of little spot that you guys need, like a little egg decor piece. So I'm going to take it and pop this into the end of my egg. So this is just that little greenery piece, and I just cut part of it apart. And all of these supplies are from the Dollar Tree. Okay, you're going to wind that little part around your styrofoam egg until you get to the other side of it, and then pop it into the other side. And this ended up being somewhat of a no glue project until I got to the end. I kind of used a little bit of glue. Okay, so then you're going to take, Dollar Tree carries these little eggs on a stick, and I'm just going to take my wire cutters. You could also use scissors, and I'm just cutting the little stems down. So I really don't need them to be this long, so I'm cutting them down to the length of like the styrofoam egg part. They need to be able to kind of poke down into that little styrofoam egg piece. And so I'm just poking them down into the egg piece, and I want to make like a little egg topiary. So just continue to add in eggs. You could also hot glue them onto there if you're having a hard time getting them. I did have to kind of like wiggle them around into that styrofoam piece. And again, you guys could just use a square piece of styrofoam. It doesn't necessarily really have to be an egg shape, although this is what I had and I just thought it'd be kind of cool. So here's what's looking like so far. And I'm just kind of mixing in the colors. So purple and pink and yellow, and I just want it to be this little bright ray of pretty sunshine, and I want it to be something that I can pop on top of this candlestick when I want a different look for these candles. So I just thought that would be a fun idea. So it's kind of like a blooming candle, but it's something that we can take off of this candle and move around, which I love. So maybe I'm in the mood to have a candle on here, and I want to take this little egg topiary and put it somewhere else, you know, put it in the center of a plate or add it to a vignette somewhere else. So again, I'm continuing to add in more eggs until it really builds and, you know, gets really nice and full. So I hope this gives you guys kind of a creative idea of what to do with these eggs on a stick. And there's quite a few that come in the Dollar Tree packages. I would suggest, if you're going to do this project and you wanted to do 2 of these, like I'm doing for my candlesticks, you'd probably want to pick up 4 packages of eggs, and I would suggest 2 packages of the large eggs and then 2 packages of the small eggs, because I ended up using different sizes. Now you would see something like this, you know, at a Home Goods or a TJ Maxx for definitely much more than a couple of dollars. So think about that. You know, these decor pieces to me are always so expensive in the high-end decor stores, when you guys can pop into Dollar Tree and grab some of these and make something really cute and creative for much less. I decided to add in a couple of little carrots too, because I just thought that would be super adorable, and because I already had these on hand. Of course, this is obviously optional. You guys could add in like some green moss. You know, I kind of like to look into my craft stash and use what I have, so I suggest, you know, really you guys do that. You could add in berries, or and just really have fun with it. I'm excited to see how you guys recreate this. So then the next thing I wanted to do too was pop in one of those bunnies. These are just those little bunnies on a stick, and then I thought this was so cute. And then I also thought, you know, the bunny mixes in with the little candlestick, and the candlestick I did get at the thrift store, so I don't have any suggestion on where to get this kind of candlestick, but I topped it on to the little candlestick, and here is how it came out. So fun and fabulous. And then I am going to share with you guys how to do this banner. Now this banner, of course, I would put, in a different spot. It's just hanging here kind of to show you guys, so you guys could see this all together in a vignette. But this little candle topper, oh my goodness, so fun and fabulous and bright and colorful, which I am just so crushing on this season. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how you can take one of these little potting buckets from the Dollar Tree, and then you're going to need 3 of the styrofoam moss sheets. You guys could also use styrofoam, or you could also use the free flowing moss, or you don't have to use moss at all. Really the moss part was optional. In fact, I almost did this without the moss. Now I remember my friend J Money DIY doing a cute little carrot basket last year. So when I was crafting away, her basket popped into my head. You'll have to go check out her channel. I'll link it in my description box below. She has a ton of amazing DIYs. She's a really sweet friend, and you guys will love her channel. But I do remember her doing a fun little carrot basket last year, so go check her out. She is a doll. But anyway, so we're going to take and we are going to glue some moss on the outside of this. This is just like a little potting thing. It's not really an Easter basket, but I had it floating around in my stash, and so I thought, you know what, this would be really stinking cute. And since it's already green, I thought it would be perfect as a backdrop for this moss. Now the moss is a little bit wonky. It kind of sheds, and so have some patience with it, but it is fairly easy as far as being able to get it on. You're just going to need some pretty good hot glue and some patience, because you are going to need to kind of hold it down. You guys can see I'm really trying to kind of hold it down, and then you're just going to add more hot glue, and then I pulled it over the lip of the basket. So you could also just trim it off if you wanted to save that extra moss, but I just kind of twisted it and pulled it in. That way the top part of my basket looked like it was also covered in greenery. Now I saw these baskets like this on the Pottery Barn website last year, and they were so stinking expensive, and so I've duped these last year. I didn't add the carrots to them, but I just thought that would be kind of a cute thing to do this year, would be to add the carrots to the basket. I think I've seen these kind of baskets too, like at TJ Maxx, with the little carrots on them. And they're definitely much more than a couple of dollars. Now for the carrot basket, I did end up using, I believe, 4 bags of the little Dollar Tree carrots, and I just glued them all the way around. And I think I came up short about 3 carrots using the 4 bags. But I had some already floating around, so I'm not totally for sure that I needed 4 bags. Anyway, make sure you get enough carrots. Long story short on that. It does take a lot to do this basket. But have fun with it, get creative, you guys, and just go for it.
Closer, I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love. All that we have is each other now. Promise you won't leave my side. I hope who I am is enough for you. If I'm giving you my love, giving you my love, love. Tell me what you wanna do. I'll do anything, as long as I can be here with you. Everything's alright. I'll be right here. I swear that I'll stay here with you. Hold me closer. I wanna stay here with you. All that we have is each other now. I promise I won't leave your side. Be who you are and you'll be enough. If you're giving me your love, giving me your love.
And then here is how my little Peter Rabbit carrot basket came out. I just popped some burlap down into it and then popped in the cute little bunny just to kind of share with you guys an idea for how you could display your little Peter Rabbit carrot basket. I think that that would be a fun way to pop it into an Easter display. Just so fun and fabulous. And oh my goodness, I am so excited for Easter decorating, even though I know it is Happy Valentine's Day weekend. You guys know I love to craft and decorate. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create some super adorable little bunny bun baskets. And so I'm just taking these little Dollar Tree crafting pots, or really they're like garden pots, and they come in a 3-pack and they're plastic, okay? And then these are those little Dollar Tree little felt bunnies, okay? I used these in another craft, and so I already had them, and they come in a pack already strung together. So I just unstrung them, and then I cut them apart, and I'm gluing the bottom half to the bottom part of the pot. As you guys can see, I've already got one finished over here with the little yellow guy, and so I'm gluing this bottom part to this bottom part of the pot. And so you can see the little bunny butt there, and he's got his little legs. And I thought this would be kind of a different take on like the little bunny butt pot that you guys normally see. And then I decided to take the little ears and glue those down inside of the pot. These would be a fun little craft, I think, to do with kiddos, because you could probably just help them with the hot glue part maybe, and then you could maybe even put their little name on the outside of this. And you may even be able to use like craft glue with these. And then whoopsie daisy, I just realized that I glued my ears kind of wonky off to the side, so I had to move those over. Hazard of the trade when you're crafting upside down and backwards, and I can really only see what I'm doing by looking up at my camera. So the next thing I decided to add to make it even a little bit cuter was a little bow. I'm tying a shoelace bow, and it's a pink bow. Dollar Tree has this really super cute ribbon this year, you guys. Oh my gosh. Now this is not in the Easter section. It's in the regular crafting section. So keep taking a peek at that craft ribbon. Anyway, you just tie a bow like you're tying your shoelace. And I decided to add that right underneath its little ears. And I just thought that was so cute. And I added a pink one to each pot. And I thought this was such a cute idea. And I think that this would be adorable if you had kiddos. And I would just add like my kids' names to each one and then put like candy in them, or even, I don't know, maybe add their picture to it. Oh, it just reminds me of when my kiddos were little, something about it. So anyway, I just put little eggs in there. I also thought it would be cute to make like a little like maybe like a little garden planter with so here's how it looks in my little Easter display. So cute and just happy and springy. And I really chose bright colors this year, you guys. I don't know, I've always done like a lot of muted colors, and I think that's nice too. However you love to decorate with is, I think, what you should go for. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys how to take some of these little bunny treat sacks and make them into a banner. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pull the little pink string out of the top part of the bunny treat sack. So I just did that. I just cut the little edges and removed the little treat sack toppers. And then the next thing I wanted to do was take it and just cut in the bottom part and make it look like it was like a banner. So you're just going to fold it and then cut a little triangle in an upwards direction. And that's going to make it, look more like a banner shape. And the only thing about this one that I had a little bit of a tricky time with, and I will tell you guys this in advance, was stringing my string through the top of that. And I'll share that with you guys here in just a minute. But I did go ahead and just cut all of my little triangles in the bottom so they all matched. And if you notice, my ears were a little bit different, so I went every other one. So I'm taking this Dollar Tree ribbon and I'm just going to add in a little safety pin here. So what I did was I hot glued the top of the treat sack together. But what you want to do is make sure that you leave like a little spot where you can still run your safety pin and your ribbon through there. Now, where the treat sack already had like the little pink string through, you can also run your safety pin through there. So it's up to you. I felt like it would have been easier if I wouldn't have hot glued mine all the way and would have left a bigger loop to run my ribbon through there, because I ended up getting my safety pin stuck and it broke, and so I just ended up having to hot glue my last two on top of my ribbon. So the first two I was able to string through, and then the last two I was like, I had to hot glue just to the ribbon, which honestly it worked out fine too. So just a little side note there, it wasn't a craft fail, but it almost was. So I'm just taking, and I have like a safety pin attached to the ribbon, and I'm stringing it through these top two, and then on the third one it got stuck, it broke, and so I had to just hot glue those last two on there. But it was still a fun craft, so you guys get the drift of what I had going on. And so I just had them kind of strung to these little candle holders so you guys could see. But what I'm thinking about doing with this once I get my house decorated for Easter is putting this like on a little cabinet, or putting this just somewhere fun, you know, where you would put a little Easter banner. But I think this would be really cute if you were decorating like a classroom or a church board. And so you would need to pick up 2 of the little bunny treat sacks from Dollar Tree. They have these out right now. And I think the ears on these bunny treat sacks are so adorable with the little stripes and the little plaids. Oh my goodness. I just think they're so stinking cute. I also think if you're decorating a nursery, these would be so adorable. You guys, I don't know. I love these pastel colors for Easter. So for the next DIY, I want to share with you guys a super adorable idea for how to do like a cute little framed bunny or Easter picture. So I'm taking this little bag, and this is just comes in a 2-pack, and it's a little Easter bag, and I chose the chicks. They also have the bunnies, and they're kind of like have this little plaid pattern, and I'm just going to cut the little bag apart, and I ended up just using the chick bag. I want to save the little bunny bag for a different project, and I'm just cutting it apart and making it fit down in the size of the frame. And I have these postcards that somebody sent me, gosh, I think it was a year or 2 ago. And they're like this really cute kind of vintage postcard. And so I'm just using the chick picture for the background. And then I'm going to frame out the little vintage postcard. And once I was done, I realized I kind of lost like a little bit of the chick picture. So you could almost just use the chick picture as is. But I'm just taping it to the little matting here, and then I put the little vintage postcard down inside of that. So it ended up being pretty cute. I was just kind of a little bit bummed out that I lost so much of the chicks in there, but anyway, you guys, not a big deal, still super fun. And I don't know, you guys, sometimes maybe less is more, but let me know what you guys think. You guys like it with the vintage postcard or without? I like the vintage postcard. I thought it gave it like a really kind of vintage vibe. And the vintage postcards were really that vibrant color, which I don't know this year why I'm just vibing so much with the vibrant colors. Comment, let me know if you guys have been a little bit more attracted to brighter colors this year, or if you guys are still into more of the muted colors. And sometimes mid-season I'll flip a switch and get tired of the bright colors, but I don't know, I don't think so, because I still even went for the brighter colors with my Valentine's Day decor and my Christmas decor. So it seems like for me that's what's been trending, I guess, in my heart. And I've even had some people ask me, you know, why I'm not decorating with as many pinks. I think I'm still decorating with pinks. Just maybe not every single thing is pink. So anyway, let's check in with Benji Bear and see what he thinks about that. I really think that he has been on the loose goose in the studio. I'll tell you what, he caused such a commotion. He actually had to get put in timeout today. He was really going to town. He wore himself out though, and so he really didn't so much get put in timeout as he had to have a little nappy time. He likes to hang out with me in the studio, but you guys can see that there's a lot in here for him to get into, and so he wants to be right by me, but to keep him safe, he sometimes has to go have a little time in his little kennel, in his little spot, which is right next to me still. So anyway, as always, you guys comment and let me know, what was your favorite DIY in this video? Which one will you be recreating? And I will have to admit to you guys, I completely forgot to do an outro for you, so you won't get to see my smiling face at the ending of this video. I'll apologize for you on that. I think I just had so much fun crafting. It completely slipped my mind. I looked everywhere in my video clips for you, and I guess I just got so excited it just slipped my mind. I did do a Facebook Live for you guys though on Friday, so you guys can pop over to my Facebook page and check that out. If you want to see a little bit more. But anyway, I love to hear you guys' feedback, and I'm thankful that you guys are here. Hey, I do want to do a candle giveaway also on this video, and I need to know, what colors are you guys decorating with for Easter? Are you guys going to go for some vibrant pops of color? Are you going to still stay with some of the farmhouse colors? Do you go traditional pastels? I really need to know so I can know some of the DIYs you're going to be looking for. I'm also wanting to do some French country videos for you guys, and some organizing videos coming up as well. So definitely let me know what you're in the mood for with some of the upcoming videos. We are doing so many spring videos, so I cannot wait to share with you guys some more spring ideas. So stay tuned for all of that, and I hope everybody's staying cozy and warm. We have a lot of snow ahead, at least right now. So whenever you're watching this, just let me know. I love you guys. I'm hugging your hearts so tight, and I will talk to you very soon. Remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you very soon.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you enter my Cricut Joy giveaway, as well as the $100 gift card that I'm going to give to one of you all to go shopping for your Cricut Joy. So again, I just want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work crafting and decorating, and looking forward to the future with as much joy as possible, no matter where you're at in life. I know everybody's been going through so many different things in the last couple of years. Gosh, you guys, I just want to encourage everybody to pray for one another, pray for our world, and I just want to give all of your hearts a hug so tight. Thank you guys for being here. Now, if you want to join my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook community, I would love to have you guys pop over, join my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group community, and you guys can post photos of your home decor and DIY projects, and it's totally free. I just want to give you guys a space where you can just uplift one another and share your joy of crafting and decorating, because I know it is so therapeutic and healing for my soul to plug in my glue gun and get out my paint and just make my home pretty on a budget. So again, thank you all so much for being here. I love y'all to the moon and back. I can't wait for our next video, and until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye.